Well, about the last hour, I've been putting together tender trucks that support all-wheel pickup. I've created a kit box, and then I just use the lid to do the assembly. These are the peelings, you might say. Um, I don't know why I have a spare side piece there, but I can put him back. Got some screws, got some pickups bent, and I have a wheel left over. I had a bad wheel. Oh, that is a bad wheel. Somehow, in the course of making the wheel assembly, I broke off the flange. I have no idea when or how I did that. So, sorry, guy, but you're in the garbage. Here's the real ones. I had to use red because that's what's on the printer, and besides, this rat rail rod, so you get a little rat in there. Um, got these assembled. I've got the wire pickup fabricated, the last one that I needed, made from scratch, from memory. Good God. A little trim on this end, but everything else will be just fine. Did a practice with my screws. I got some new screws. They're black to match. I like that. Put the coupler on the back side. It's lost a little of its articulation, but I think it's going to be okay. We'll test it out on my track. My track's about as wavy as anybody else's. I found I had the wrong pivot pins. They're too tall. These guys stick up and they don't fit right, so I'm printing the proper length ones, so they're going to be red. That'll be okay. It'll be all hidden. So this is the rear truck. This is the front truck. This is the rear of the chassis, and that's the front of the chassis. So they go like that. As you can see, these are a little tall, a little gangly. There's going to be a big spacer in there, and that's going to be all collapsed down. But that's the look. That's what they're going to be like. The basic all-wheel pickup for 4 trucks. That's the side frame I have. We can talk about making different ones if that scratches somebody's itch or something. I'm using this off of Leon's, and it's so close, except the coal load on this cover, as you can see, it dips down and back up, and it dips down and back up inside, and it catches on this tip right here. If I line this up about like that, you can see that line back there, that dip down, I got it in my lap, is just about in line with that. This is so tippy because the screw's not in, but also the things are too long. In any case, the challenge I have now is, do I want to grind that down inside there, or do I have to move these pieces forward like I did on this one? I notched the plate. There we are. I notched that plate so this PC board could slide in. Now I just realized I've covered up my positive out, so I'm going to have to actually cut that off so wire can come through. Okay, so I'm going to have to cut these off and move them forward. I'm going to have to cut this one off more, which I really don't want to do because I don't have a whole lot of material holding that up. So I can't really move him down either. Well, I can move these down because I'm not putting the WeMOS in. So that's another word to say the WeMOS sound system isn't going to fit very well inside the Flyer Atlantic tender. Like our grandmother, when she calls every kid's name until she gets to the one she wants. Anyway, right. So challenge, right? What do you do? Don't know yet, but we're working on it. Progress. I'll figure something out. I will probably just drop them down slightly and trim that down a couple, maybe 2 millimeters. I think 2 millimeters is not a lot, but it's enough to give you the clearance. I really don't want to grind on that. I thought about cutting out the coal and just putting in a screen and gluing coal on top. That's actually more realistic. Gives me bigger boom, but I don't know, people don't want to do that. If that's their shell, they don't want to. On the other hand, the idea is to sell this chassis as a ready-to-run assembly, so you do build your own shell. You can take a shell and cut it up if you want. A secret Leon told me, he may not want me to tell you, but this is 2 passenger cars put together. I mean, he's a modeler, you know? He's pretty good. Any rate, I think building our own engines, I want to build my own engines so bad. Although, when I just look at this plastic, bottom of the line, 307, the detail in here is just, you can't get it 3D printing. The only way you could get that would be to cut it off of this one or put it all on brass if you used brass components. But, you know, that's not part of what we want to do here, is it? I don't know. Anyway, so most of my engines, this is Leon's also, but most of my engines are going to be like this, fairly streamlined and not a lot of stuff hanging off the outside. Yep, that's right. Well, this one's the same, right? Yeah, this one's the same. So anyway, that's what I've been doing this afternoon, and I thought I'd just update you on this next-gen basic level assembly and what it's going to look like and what's going to be in it. I know this engine runs. This engine is the smoothest thing. I turned on the power supply with 1.5 volts and 1 amp, and the thing was spinning, just silently spinning. Unbelievable. So smoke's been tuned. Got the new composition of the lid. Oh, I know what while it's printing, those aren't going to take very long. They're pretty fast. While they're printing, I was going to look into the pan here and see what I need to do to make it fit right. I think, one, I need to narrow this, and then I got to verify the lengths and stuff. But it's a tweak. You know, make a copy, tweak it, print it, test it, tweak it, print it, you're done. So this pan thing, I did it on another one. Oh, I know, I did it on this one, I think. Yeah, that's right. I put this in. I can't on his. I did it on mine. Ah, crumb. Anyway, it's going to look something like that. It'll look something like that. Oh, wow, it doesn't even fit his. Oh, mine was metal. Okay, fine. You'll see. You'll see. I'll put it together and show you. All right. Crappy video. I'm sorry. Thought I had something to talk about, you know, with the trucks and all. But fun part is all-wheel pickup, roll really nice with those brass bushings. And pretty easy. I mean, an hour. And, of course, you know, I know what I was doing. But, you know, if I give you the instructions in a book. Problem I'm having, guys, is you know, I'm just at that point where doing precision work is a big challenge for me just because of my hands and my eyes and everything else. So I'm going to need people willing and able to make these parts. I'm not going to be able to do it. I just found that out today for sure. I was cutting axles in half and I had a hell of a time hitting the center. Just holding that still and cutting the center of an axle is a challenge. Now I can't deal with that because I have to cut, you know, 4 axles every tender. And that's just one aspect, you know what I mean? Other things I have to do that require really good eye-hand coordination as an assembler. Man, oh man, I'm really hurting. So you guys that are handy and can do this stuff, please let me know. I'd like to get some recruits in here that can help make these parts for me. And we'll see if we can't find some folks out there that need them, okay? On that note, I'll call it quits. Looks like my print's about ready. And, you know, my software tells me how much time's left. 1 minute and 10 seconds. That's pretty cool. I can also look at a picture of it. I can have the Q-code viewer, and it's supposed to show me where it is. That's where it is in that level. I don't really know what level it's at, but it's at that level, and that's where it's printing. See that? It just went to the next one, and it's filling out the outer diameter at the top. Now it's at a new layer. The z-axis just went up a little, you know, by 0.2, I think, or something like that. I don't know what I set it at. At any rate, that's neat. Okay, better go. I haven't been able to do much today. Well, I have, but nothing you can see. Secret. Later. Have a good day.